The Northern Lights are a thing that you'll want to see, but not exclusive to Iceland. You can find them in Norway, Alaska, and other parts of Scandinavia. So if you're looking for aurora borealis, you can check out the Northern Hemisphere for this. Most commonly seen during the winter months, but it's not always a guarantee that you will see them when seeking aurora borealis because she is elusive. That is why you should consider yourself lucky if you are ever so fortunate to actually see them in person. Headed back down under, this time we're at the Great Barrier Reef off of Queensland, Australia. It's over 900 islands, making it the largest coral reef system in the world, extending 1,430 miles. There's said to be around 1,500 species of fish and 411 different species of hard coral here. People like to go and explore this natural marine biodiversity without leaving any footprint. Now we're headed to the Great Wall of China. Construction began over 2,000 years ago to protect the Chinese people from the northern invaders like the Mongols. It extends 13,000 miles, built primarily of brick and tamped earth with stone. The most efficient way to get here is from Beijing and then take the bus or a train to Badaling. There are other sections though of the China Wall that you can visit, but the easiest one is probably going to be from Beijing. Headed all the way down south, this time we're headed to Antarctica, the southernmost continent and the 5th largest in the world. This is one place that if you go to, you are in a very small demographic of people who've actually visited. It is very rugged and rough, comprised of 90% of the world's ice and 70% of the world's fresh water. Teeming with wildlife such as penguins and a variety of different whales. The best way to get here is by boat from Argentina. Heading over to the island nation of New Zealand. It has a North Island and a South Island along with several smaller islands. It offers a wide variety of climate zones and landscapes with beaches in the north and then snow-capped mountains in the south. They also have the Fiordlands in the South Island, very beautiful around Queenstown. If you go to Abel Tasman Park or Mount Cook, very awesome places to explore doing hiking. You can do skiing. People also do surfing, and there are many geothermal parks as well as lots of waterfalls. Headed back to Italy, this time we're exploring around Rome. Now ancient Rome has the Forum, the Colosseum, Circus Maximus. There's also the Vatican City, the Pantheon. There's also Trevi Fountain. There's so much history in Rome. After all, this is the head of the Holy Roman Empire. Because of its history, it is a must-do bucket list destination. You should expect to be here for at least 3 days. Now we're headed to a hidden gem. This is known as the Dalmatian Coast, right along Croatia. It extends for 400 miles. There is an ancient history dating back to the medieval times that you'll want to explore in places like Dubrovnik or Hvar, for those of you who like the Game of Thrones. But there's also this beautiful water and bays and islands that you can explore all across this region of Croatia. By the way, guys, I want to remind you that if you check the links below, we do have specific travel guides for some of these destinations, so don't forget to check the description below. Now we're headed to Colombia, to Guatapé, Pinol. Now this large rock is very interesting because you can actually walk up the sides of the cliff and then get a view of the lake and the surrounding area around Guatapé. It's a very Edenic type environment. The best way to get to Guatapé is a tour bus that goes from Medellin all the way over here. It does take around an hour and a half to get here, but like I said, it is worth it. Now we're headed to White Sands, New Mexico. Here you will see the silica type white sand that you can walk across or even sandboard. Glide along this beautiful soft sand right out here in the middle of the desert. Now we're actually headed back out to Hawaii, to Hawaii Volcano National Park. This is home to the active volcano known as Kilauea. There's 2 volcanoes in the region. There's Mauna Loa, which is considered the largest active volcano, and then Kilauea, considered the most active volcano in the world. And it's not always running with lava, but when it is raging. So if you get a chance to check out this lava flow, do so. There are many hikes that you can do while on this area of the Big Island, so do some research before exploring. Next up, we're headed to another volcano caldera. This one's called Santorini, the honeymooner's paradise right here in the Cyclades Islands of Greece. Some of the places to explore are going to be Ia, Fera, and Akrotiri. 4 days in Santorini seems to be perfect. Next up, we're headed to Paris, the romantic city, home of the Eiffel Tower. If you can, take the elevator to the top of the tower, as well as several cathedrals like Notre Dame and Sacré-Cœur, as well as the Palace of Versailles. As you go around Paris, you realize this is a very eclectic and artistic city, with other places such as Moulin Rouge, home to the Can-Can dance, as well as Maison Rose Cafe, and even the largest shopping mall in the world, Galeries of Lafayette. I recommend at least 4 days in Paris.